In this video, we are going to look for the React fragment. Let's add a button element here, and I am naming it as a add button. And you can immediately see a compilation error, and it is saying like JSX expression must have one parent element. Why is that? So in the previous video, I told you how this JSX gets converted into JavaScript by Babel compiler. It converts in react.createElement. For that, let me write it. Let's import the React. Import React from React, and here React is a default export. Okay, and this element will get converted like react.create element. First parameter here is element type. In this case, it will be h1. Second is props. We can write null, but if you want it to write, we can add here id, then class, styles, anything at this place. But for now, I am just writing here null. And third parameter is the value of that element. And in this case, we have hello world. But when we have two elements side by side, Babel doesn't know how to compile this thing. So one solution is to wrap this entire element inside the div. Okay, let me close this div tag. Now Babel will convert this like react.createElement. First parameter is div, then props are null. Then inside that we have values like h1 element. So let's create react.createElement, which is a h1 tag. It don't have props, so null, and its value is hello world. Okay, add comma, and second element is button. So it will have one more child element, that is react.createElement. Inside that we will need to write button. It also don't have any props, so null, and it has value like add. So Babel will convert in this way. Let's save this by Ctrl S, and you can see the extension which we installed at the starting, it formats the code and it is looking more readable. Let's comment this and save this. And you can observe Prettier automatically added the parenthesis and wrap our JSX inside that. This is called automatic semicolon insertion. In JavaScript, if we return like this, return, and write the JSX in next line, it automatically add, or JavaScript automatically add the semicolon after return. So it will just return the empty, not this element. To return this div, we need to wrap this inside the parenthesis. So parenthesis at the start and parenthesis at the end. This is how it works. Let me remove it and save the changes. Now let's move to the browser. Here you can see we have the hello world and button. Let me inspect it. We can see now we have a main element with id root. This is inside the index.html file. This is the same div which we added now, and inside that we have a h1 and button. But this div is an extra div, unnecessary div. We don't need this. To remove this, we need to use the React fragment. Let me import the fragment from React, and here fragment is a named export. That's why I imported it in the curly braces, and replace this div with the fragment and close this with the fragment also, and let's save it and check. Now you can see we don't have the extra div, it is removed. There is even a better way to write the fragment without importing from the React. So just select the fragment and press Ctrl D So it will select the next occurrence of the fragment. On Mac, you can press the Command D. And let's remove or delete the fragment. This empty text also called the React fragment, and it wraps the all the child elements. Let's remove all the import. So here are the main points why we use fragment. First, grouping the elements. Then we avoid unnecessary wrappers. With that, it reduces the DOM nodes and code looks clean and readable. Basically, React Fragment provides clean and efficient way to group elements together without introducing unnecessary markup or impacting performance.